What's going on, guys? It's Gizmodict here, and this is the review of the X99 UD5 Wi-Fi motherboard from Gigabyte. As the name suggests, it is based on the X99 chipset from Intel, supporting the LGA 2011 socket. It retails for about $270 and it has a lot of features that make it a very compelling mainstream X99 motherboard. The packaging of the motherboard is itself quite cool. It has this briefcase sort of design with a handle on the top so that you can easily carry it around in the box. On the front of the box you have all the branding and logos from Gigabyte. The front part of the box also lifts up to show a transparent window showcasing the motherboard in all its glory. The back of the box explains all the technical specifications and the layout of the motherboard, which we will dive into in some time. Inside the box of the motherboard, the first thing that you get is the board itself, which is wrapped nicely to protect any damage. Gigabyte has already supplied me with the i7 5930K 6-core CPU, so it's already there on the board, although it is obviously not included in the retail packaging. Aside from the motherboard, we get a lot of accessories bundled inside the box. We get a few SLI and Crossfire bridges in different configurations, as this board can go up to 4-way GPU configuration. There is also a Wi-Fi antenna since this board has a Wi-Fi chip, and we also have a special power cable which will help in overclocking the board. Gigabyte also bundles 3 pairs of SATA cables with the board, and the I/O shield of this motherboard is quite unique because it lights up when it is connected to the board. Concluding the packaging, we have an instruction manual, a user guide, and 2 CDs for installing important utilities and drivers. Coming to the X99 UD5 Wi-Fi, as you can see, the board is black in color with silver and gold accents, which actually look quite different and premium. The motherboard also features LED accents around the PCB, which can be programmed in the BIOS, and it looks great in the dark. The gold-plated LGA 2011 socket is located at the center of the board, and it is surrounded by Gigabyte ultra-durable heatsink, which features server-level chokes and solid capacitors for maximum performance. The heatsink also features an all-digital power design with IR digital ICs. There are 8 DDR4 RAM slots in total on the motherboard, with 4 on the either side of the CPU socket, supporting up to 64 GB of RAM. On the front side we have 10 SATA 3 connectors and a SATA Express port for speeds up to 10 gigabits per second. Next to the SATA ports, there is an OCPEG port to provide extra power to the PCIe sockets. Next to that is our standard 24-pin power connector, which is followed by a debug display and an onboard power, reset and clear CMOS button. We also have switches for the dual BIOS mode, which come in very handy in case you mess up your BIOS while overclocking or updating the board. The motherboard has 4 PCIe slots, 2 of which run at 16x and the other 2 run at 8x. We also have 2 legacy PCI ports along with 2 SATA M2 connectors. One of the SATA M2 port is used by the Wi-Fi module on board, while the other is free for the user. This motherboard is also Thunderbolt ready because it has a separate port for Gigabyte Thunderbolt add-in card. We also have 2 USB 2.0 headers and 2 USB 3.0 headers along with 5 fan headers on the board. One of the interesting things about the Gigabyte motherboards is their audio PCB layout. Like other Gigabyte boards, the X99 UD5 Wi-Fi also has the audio chip on one of the corners, separated from all the other components to reduce the interference and provide good sound quality. There's also an LED strip separating the audio chip, and this board has the ALC 1150 sound card from Realtek. It features a custom metal shielding with gold-plated capacitors, and it also has independent PCB layers for the right and the left channel audio for maximum quality. Now finally, coming to the rear I/O, we have a combo PS2 jack along with 2 USB 2.0 ports. This is followed by an OC profile button, a fast boot button and a clear CMOS button for easy access. Following that, we have 8 USB 3.0 ports, dual Intel GBE Ethernet ports, 8-channel HD audio ports, and a bracket to mount the Wi-Fi AC antenna. This motherboard also has Bluetooth 4.0 and it supports the AC band Wi-Fi. The BIOS of the motherboard is also similar to the current generation Gigabyte motherboards. You can either use the traditional layout or switch to the smart tweaking mode, which has a better interface and it lets you use your mouse to click through settings easily. Coming to the overclocking side of things, here are my system specifications on which I tested this board. I could get a stable system at about 4.6 GHz at 1.36 volts, which is fairly decent. I did stress test the system using Intel XTU and the processor never crossed 80 degrees, which is great. Right now I am running all the benchmark scores that I did with the system, and for the benchmarking purposes I did overclock the CPU to 4.5 GHz and the RAM to 2666 MHz, as this combination gave me the best results without using a lot of voltage. I could overclock my 2400 MHz ADATA RAM to 3000 MHz. So in terms of overclocking, the X99 UD5 Wi-Fi is no slouch. The CPU overclock does boost the performance, as you can see from the benchmarks, and the configuration that I had is completely stable for daily use. The Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi capabilities of this board are quite good too, and the Wi-Fi worked out of the box with Windows 8.1. One thing which I would like to mention is that please update the BIOS of your motherboard as soon as you get it, because my motherboard came with the initial BIOS version and it did have some problems in overclocking. But once I updated the BIOS from the Gigabyte's website, everything was fine and working smoothly. Overall, the X99 UD5 Wi-Fi packs in some serious features at a very compelling price. It is built very well, it has a very nice design, and it is a great choice for someone who is looking for a serious performance out of their system. I will be bringing more interesting content about this motherboard soon, so please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel for it. I will have the links to buy this board in the description box, and I would like to thank Gigabyte for sending out the board for review. This concludes my full review of the Gigabyte X99 UD5 Wi-Fi motherboard. If you guys did enjoy the video, then feel free to like and share it. Please subscribe for more amazing videos which are coming soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.